Hola, Kamola. Hola, Cola, Hola. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another We Draw Wednesday stream. All right, and we got Tally in the chat already. Frame one. Here she is. How we doing, Tally? How was work today? Welcome on in. And what are we gonna do today? We're just gonna draw. We're just gonna draw. And there's the one claim from Mo. Oh, I didn't see that coming. What's up, Mo? What is up, Mo? Mo has become the one today, and I swear I stay forgetting to make the whatchamacallit. Nah, it's well, I mean, yes, you are technically, but Mo can catch up. He's only at 8. He's actually not that far away. Well, I like how you gave me a whole 5 minutes. I mean, like she's slowly giving you hope. It's one of those things. Oh, hey, they say sharing is caring. Yeah. Oh. But, he can catch up. He can catch up. Just give him some time. Just give him some time. Maybe if I'm a bit more sporadic with what time I come in. But we are pretty late today. We had a lot of things to do. So, yeah. We're going from this view, we're going to do this. We push this parcel, push this line over here. So as you do not see the nails, you Pick the color and you still have not seen it. Not seen it. Me and Mo need an interesting game. Alright, that's what I was. Sorry, I kind of trailed off there. Yeah, I should, I've been thinking about putting, like, you know, your name would be on the screen, right? If you have the highest count for the one. Maybe we want this. Let's have this disappear into the background. Man, it's already about to be 7. But I had a lot of chores today. But you know what? Like I always say, we still gotta draw, no matter what, right? No excuses. No excuses. So let's go ahead and put the time in and sit down and let's fill the brain a little. Just kind of throw some stuff down on the paper. Ba-ba-bum. Mhm. Hey, what's up, Mikey? Draw me a pony. A pony. There you go. Here's your little pony. Magical. At least that looks like What are you drawing? Spider-Man? Yeah, we're doing Spider-Man. He's got the webs coming out of here. Notice that. Nothing particular. I'm just drawing this stuff. You know, speaking of Spider-Man, this is just kind of like what we kind of do in the studio. Just kind of drawing pictures and different poses and stuff. That's part of our daily routine to keep our skills sharp. Can you draw regular, like, off the computer with your hands also? Yeah, of course. I mean, if I can do it here, then yeah, I can do it on a paper. The only difference is just, get on paper when you draw stuff, right? When you're drawing, like, you're making markings on the paper. When you erase it, and, you know, this eraser kind of emulates a real eraser in a way. But when you're erasing, this thing happens where... Okay, maybe that's a little too hard. Oh, that's because I have the hard one. Okay. Soft eraser. Let's try this again. Alright. This thing happens where you start erasing and you leave marks on the paper. So the advantage you get when you're on the computer is that there's no history of error, right? If you are on a paper and you keep making mistakes on a paper, the markings are going to stay. You're going to see the mistakes. You're going to see your history of repeated mistakes on a paper. But when you're on the computer, you know, you can press Control-Z to get rid of it. You can erase it. You can completely destroy all histories of mistakes. So that's one of the benefits that you get on a digital device. Although a lot of people a lot of experts like to say, hold on, let's do this. Okay. A lot of experts like to say that when you're, if on the, you know, while that is nice on the computer, it's kind of detrimental for at least the beginners, because they tend not to learn from their mistakes. And doing it on paper is part of that process when you're training, because you get punished for your mistakes, and it sits on your illustration at the end and it looks bad and you hate it, and that gets to you, right? But when you're on the computer, it's just kind of like, you know, you make a mistake, all right, well, bam, it's gone with like a click of a button, right? And those mistakes don't stick with the artist enough where they keep making that same mistake, or so people argue. But since I started on paper and then transitioned to computer, you know, I'm over that already. You know, I kind of understand how to learn from my mistakes, so I don't keep on making them. But that's something that has been talked about. You know? Hey, look, this is how your elbow looks like from the back when you're stretching it out. See, and then your arm's gonna curve out like this. And then you're gonna have a little bump here from your hand. Why? Because, you know, this is the bony part of your wrist, especially over here on your elbow. I mean, not elbow, on your wrist over here, on your pinky side, there's gonna be your most prominent bone. If you look at your hand right now and you look at your wrist, the one that's on your pinky side is poking out more. So as I'm drawing, I know that, and I know that this bone connects to the elbow, and then this is that part of your elbow, and then, you know, the other bone connects to your shoulder, of course. But this part right here, especially if you don't have a lot of fat in your arms, when you stretch it out, you'll see that line. So just keep in mind, like, professional artists, when they draw stuff, a lot of the stuff is not random. They draw with intention, because they studied the body and they know where everything is. You know? And that's part of why we are, you know, we should be practicing. That's what I include in my practice. I learn about body parts. I learn about where I should be putting things, how the body is put together. You know, that's why I always say I should have been a doctor, because it's like all the studying you have to do to get body parts right. It's like, it's all the knowledge that kind of comes with studying. So it's just kind of like, I could have, like, my 9 to 5 could have been like something involved in the medical field, because I'm using the knowledge anyways to draw, you know. But, you know, alas, it's too late now. But maybe it's not too late for some of you guys that are watching. So when it comes to the pelvis here, I like to draw the bone comes out of the pelvis. I think when I keep in mind of the glutes here, I think that's where it messes me up. So I think it's just a better idea to think of it in the skeleton, you know, with the skeleton. Keep the skeleton in mind when I'm drawing this part. If I keep the skeleton in mind and I don't think about the glutes, it makes it a lot easier for me to position everything where they're supposed to be, right? Especially the legs here. So now that I know where this bone is, you know, and I kind of drew it here as well, but over here on the side of your hips, right? The bone right here is like, and you can't feel it because you have like a lot of like fat on that part, but like the edge of this part of your leg is where your bone goes. Like there's like a big flat part here, and it's a landmark for artists when they're drawing the hips, so I use that a lot. And the way your bone is structured is that it always comes out like this, and then it always goes in, and all the muscles that cover it kind of makes it look like your leg is going in a straight line, but your leg is always going inwards like that. You know, and then if I had to draw like the rest of the pelvis here, you know, there's like this little butterfly shape that comes out like so. So that's just the shape that I kind of imagined. But you know, in the beginning, as you practice, draw out the shapes, but you know, eventually you'll hit a point where you kind of already have a feeling for it. You kind of already understand where it's going or how it should look like, and then you kind of do it in your head already. See, so now that I've done this, now I can add the glutes here. You know, add to the form. And the glutes are attached to the side of this bone that I was talking about earlier, and then it goes into the thigh here. So then this is the actual shape of the glutes right here. Second one of these arguments like that, and then the other one goes into the back over here. And then I can add the spine here. And then you know, some of the fat on our back folds up here as, you know, the spine goes up. And you kind of get that release towards the front of the body here. But you know, this part kind of just depends on how skinny you are. And then we're going to just draw the head here, and then from here we can twist the head to make it look at the camera even, right? This head could have been facing any direction, doesn't matter. But if we're going to have it face all over here, then we got to add it here. Like you said, yeah, it comes out perfect on the computer. It's always, yeah, you can learn more from the mistakes you already made. Yep. And I'm a smart, oh, you're a smart cookie. Thank you, Mike. I do be trying to, you know, bake this brain of mine, you know? Make it the smart cookie. But, you know, this is just a result of applying yourself, you know? Just remember, every day you have a choice. You wake up every day and you have a choice. You can choose what you want to do in the day. You know, that's something I always keep in mind. I used to be someone who you know, allow the day to just burn away and just kind of casually drift in this thing we call life. But you know, I just wanted to draw better, and you know, every day is an opportunity to try just a little harder, just a little better, learn something, like something little, a tiny little thing, a tiny little technique that's gonna make me improve my artwork just a little bit. You just take tiny little steps. I just took tiny little steps, nothing big. I never really made a large jump, right? In terms of just like the quality. The quality comes with small little things, like what I talked about. You know, I spent a whole day learning about the wrist, right? And I drew it in different positions. And as I continue to draw moving forward, I always keep this in mind, right? And I remember small little details like this, but all this stuff is, all these small little things are hard to remember when you're not doing this every day. And I promise you, I'm telling you, I had to relearn so many things because I just stopped drawing it, which is why these small little practice sessions are very helpful, because you're just consistently reiterating and just telling yourself, this is how this works, this is how this looks, this is how you put this together. And when you're doing that over and over, it's kind of like, you know, it's solidifying in your head, right? It's being retained. So yeah, that's why you should be practicing. I always say, you know, you should practice this to stay at your level. I think a lot of people online like to talk about practicing is like bad, and you know, you get burned out and all that stuff. But I'm just like, you know, I understand those struggles, but for me, and this is because I've been in an accident and I was injured and I could not draw for a while. But for me, now the purpose of practicing is just to retain your ability, because, you know, I put a lot of work into improving and I don't want to regress, right? And the only, you know, the way to keep yourself from regressing is to keep doing the thing. Because when I was injured and I had to stop, I couldn't do it for a while. Once I started drawing again, I just felt like I went back to square one. I couldn't draw the things like I used to be able to draw. I had to retrain my muscle memory, right? And also not just my muscle memory, but even my cognitive, like my brain too. Because like when you're making all these shapes in 2D space and you're visualizing and actualizing all of this stuff, right? And you're just creating all of these, shapes and you're forming them. All this stuff that you're doing is your brain is like remembering all that, and it gets easier and easier. But like, you know, when I had to take a break, I struggled to make forms again. So just, you know, if you're an artist, just for the sake of retaining your abilities, you know, you should diligently practice. You know, and practicing doesn't have to mean much. You know, if you can just literally sit down and just draw bodies over and over for like maybe 30 minutes. You know, how long have I been streaming? I've been streaming for 35 minutes. Look at that. You know, I would say even now I could stop now and I think that's enough, right? Because I think I put my brain through enough work so it remembers. Let's see, so this is, I'm messing up here because the form that I want to do with the upper torso is not matching how I drew the bottom, right? See, so I caught that early, so let's go ahead and just rewind that. This torso should be filled with it. I says I'm gonna go shower. If I'm not back yet before you're done, have a good stream. Okay, thank you. Enjoy your shower. You know, it do be getting warmer these days. this card again. Change the shape of the shoulder a bit. flag should be longer. I even set up the YouTube. Give me 1 second. Out real quick. I'm back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw one more. Sorry. Yeah. Let's check that out. Hey, welcome back, Sally. Welcome. Hey, what's up, Justice Stuff? Ooh, how we doing tonight, everybody? How we doing tonight? Justice says, drink water. Are you telling me to drink water? Yeah, you did, actually. More liquid. Alright. I don't know why the... doesn't make a sound anymore. I gotta fix that. Justice says, I'm doing good. How are you? I'm tired, to be honest, but I'm okay. It's been a long day. I just had a lot to do today. I started stream very, very late. Normally I plan to start at 4, and I started at like 6:30. You know, normally I ended at 8 o'clock, so we're a little past what I normally do, but you know, I'm just making up for not being able to start drawing at the time I wanted to start drawing. Or at least the time that I promised I start drawing something. Kylie Cook, I thought you showered. Which one is it? Which one is it? I'm also a little sad because Ariel Day is over. So sad. But okay, Ariel Day will be back next year. Yes, for sure. There's one thing I can change here. Let's just see how this goes. I says I cook and shower. What were you making? Lobster? She did. She's a magician. And that's why I took so long to come back. I see. I see. Okay. At the Tyro Day is never over. Tyro Day is never over. Oh no. That means I have to work every day for the rest of my life. Stop. Imagine. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying that. Like we all don't work every day of our lives, anyways. There is no escape. You must work to eat. You must eat to live. Justice Steph needs sustenance. I says I made shrimp and beef tacos on a Wednesday. You crazy. You crazy. I'm eating spaghetti. Spaghetti. We eating spaghetti today. Spaghetti. Now, if you guys were in Steph's stream yesterday, then you know that I made spaghetti. And I made enough to eat it for 2 days in a row. So, see, I don't have to cook today. Because I already did it yesterday. The other stuff said it was for me. You wanted the tacos. You see, I'm telling you, Tyler, she's plotting your demise. She said today will be the day. We must upset the gods. Valley shall feel their wrath. So I didn't eat all day, so she fed me. Why didn't you eat all day? Why y'all skipping breakfast? What's wrong with you people? Nobody eats breakfast. What do you mean I didn't eat all day? It's already 8 o'clock. You're eating now for the first time? Are you kidding me? So I forgot the arm. Stuff says I skipped breakfast and lunch, so that was pretty bad today. It says I had coffee for breakfast. Does that count? But I did have lunch and dinner after. Well, I mean, what does coffee do? What's in coffee? I'm gonna have you answer your own question. What's in coffee? What is coffee for? What does it do to your body? Coffee makes me happy, and it keeps me up, and it helps me not dangle children. Alright. Just about what I expected. did I say? The music overpowered me. I don't even remember what I said. I don't remember what I said. Oh, what else? Alright. Let's see, this is the 2-hour mark. We hit 2 hours. I think 2 hours is good enough for today, right? Right? I think we're good on 2 hours. I think that's enough, bro. Because everybody's talking about food and now I'm getting hungry and that spaghetti sounded really nice right now. I'm just saying. Spaghetti. Okay. Alright, so we got like a cute little illustration thing, probably, that we came up with today. And there you go. See, this is what I mean when I say we spill brain juice. Because, you know, we just draw, right? And then we just put something down and there you go. Here's an idea. We have an idea. So we started with just drawing sketches, the body, and just, you know. And when you're doing this, just be like, maybe it looked very random as I went through each picture, but I was somewhat targeting specific things that I just wanted to practice on, right? Or just wanted to just draw. I was targeting things that I was just kind of like, yeah, you know, I usually forget this, so let me remember this right now, right? Let me just, every time I get to this point of the body, let me remember this is here, and let me remember that's there, and, you know, etc., etc. So, you know, when you're practicing, it's always good to have an idea of what you want to work on, and if you're having trouble and figure out what those ideas are, what you should be working on, just use your artwork. Just use your artwork to decide that, right? Like if I went back to this, right? If I look at this later, I just love the black. If I came back, let's say I finished this, right? And then I just observe it and I'm like, oh, okay, I messed up here, I messed up there. Like, you know, I find all these little spots that I messed up in. You know, I take note on that. And then the next time you come back here to just drawing sketches, I'm gonna remember those mistakes and I'm gonna try to repeatedly draw and focus on drawing those specific areas that I messed up in. And then you get a slight improvement of that, and then next time you do that picture, since you did it a lot, you'll kind of remember it, right? And then that helps it stick to in your brain. And then there you go. You took one smaller step into improving your work, and that's essentially the goal of repetitive practice. Okie dokie. Okie mokie. All right. Okay, so yeah, I could. Oh, sorry. I could go a little further and just, you know, shade things in, right? I could shade it in. I could do the line art and mess with the color a little bit more. I can add lighting, right? There's a lot of things that I can do with this, but you know, I usually end at 8 for a reason. I'm kind of pushing it here. I don't want to sleep too late today, you know, and it's been already a long day, so I'm already feeling drained because I did a lot earlier today. So, you know, sometimes that is how it do be, but the important part is that you do it, right? I did it. We did some exercises here. I drew some forms. I worked on some specific forms that I wanted to target specifically, right? You know, even there is some pregame to this as well, right? Like, while I was doing everything I had to do today, I was already thinking about specific body parts and areas that I wanted to work on today. So I already had that premeditated. I already, like, you know, did some research. I did some studying while I was waiting for my appointments and stuff. Right? So, you know, just use your time out of your day very wisely. Okay, that's what I did. I already started planning ahead on what I wanted to work on, what body parts I wanted to work on, right? I did some studying. I reminded myself how, you know, specific body parts work with each other, right? Where they are. What do we visually see when we're looking at these body parts at different angles? I kept all that in mind. I did the studying, and then now that I sat down and I drew these bodies, you know, all the application just came in, right? And then we applied all that. So, you know, and then towards the end of the stream, I like to, like, you know, at least try to do somewhat of a drawing and color it a bit, and then, you know, we'll get some color practice in as well, and that's really good for helping you practice your values. But, you know, we're gonna skip that last part. You know, I did most of the forms. Coloring I do, you know, every other day anyways, so I'm not too upset about it. But, you know, I think that here would be good. All right, so go ahead and hit that ending stream. Let's hit that ending stream. All right, guys. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day. For those of you watching live, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Okay, you know, go over here eating and making me hungry over here. But if you're watching the YouTube video and you felt like today's practice session was helpful, if you feel motivated, you know, leave a like, and that will let me know that it's helping you. I appreciate you for that. It's also going to help the channel, and maybe I'll reach other people who's looking for the same kind of help and support or education that you just got today. So, as always, your efforts will never betray you. Keep working on those things that you care about. Keep getting those skills. Keep honing it. Keep working on it. They are yours and yours alone. And nobody can take that from you. Okay? So all your effort in the end will be worth it, because you will be able to think, you'll be able to do the thing that you always wanted to do. Because now you can say, I can do that thing that I'm working on. And that thing could be anything. It could be art, it could be music, it could be writing, right? It could be, you know, any sort of, maybe dancing, right? Any skill that you want to get. Okay, just don't give up. Keep working on it. And also be kind to others. We're all going through our own thing, all right? So let's try to remember that. And yeah, I'll see everybody on the Twitch channel on Monday. For those of you artsy people who like to be on the YouTube channel, I'll see you next week, and we'll do some more practicing artwork, I guess, until I figure out a project that I want to work on.